Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever time of the day it is, wherever you may be. Going to spend a few minutes talking about sex. I spent some years on the West Coast involved in a prison work and also some street service ministry, if you will. I watched, learned some things, got around a lot of people. And so now, some years have passed and I've been working on some of these issues, these deep personal issues that have arisen from my Catholic background. Philosophical musings, a little bit of education, a lot of work in people's homes down through the years. But the question of human sexuality is a really big one, and we all have it. We all have questions about it, and so I've got an idea here that I want to share with you. It has to do with chastity, the concept of chastity that comes out of the monastic realm. Not necessarily Catholic. It isn't limited to Catholicism. This goes back to the Greeks. This one, the Egyptians, Monastic orders, celibate monastic orders tend to be, they create a philosophy which rationalizes disconnection from sexual behavior, activity, experience. They can't go there. They don't go there for whatever the reasons. And they created a concept called chastity. So here's your body. You go out into the fields, you dig, you plant, you harvest. You come in the house, you're dirty, you wash up, you get clean, you have dinner. Well, it's the same thing with sex. There is nothing innately defiled about the fact that we have gender and that we have sexual feelings and that we wish to experience those feelings often in many cases. It's a very healthy thing. It's a beautiful thing. Who tells us that there's something wrong with that? As a Catholic kid, I was trained that there is. I was not supposed to think about things that related to sex. Nope, I wasn't supposed to go there. Because if I did, and if I sustained it, I would be guilty of committing mortal sin. And that mortal sin would carry me to hell. I was supposed to live a chaste life. I wanted to be a priest, a Capuchin Franciscans. I studied in a monastery for a while. I loved it, thought it was great. They kicked me out when they realized that I was a sexual human being. I was a kid, I was just a teenager. I wasn't even 17. But as soon as they detected that I was a heterosexual, they knew I wouldn't be happy in the Franciscan order. As much as I loved God, as much as I loved St. Francis and the whole concept, they threw me out, and that's okay. But chastity was the spiritual badge of merit that monastics wore then and wear now. But I question how chaste it truly is. Maybe there's a little bit of hypocrisy there. Like if we're chaste chaste by our own doing, chaste by our abstinence of experiencing our own sexuality and sharing sexually with others. That maybe if we deny ourselves these things, we will merit some kind of good grace from God, when the grace of God has already been merited by Christ, which is the only one, by the way, who can cleanse us. From shame. Your gender, your sexuality, your sexual feelings, and your sexual sharing, these are all good things. Don't ever let anyone tell you they're not. Especially people who have never had an intimate relationship and who do not want to have intimacy with another human being. Don't listen to them. They're not telling you the truth. They are telling you a rationalization and a religion and a philosophy that they created to justify themselves. There's going to be more on this. I have a lot more on this. So for this evening, or this morning, or this afternoon, or whenever it is, wherever you are at this time, have a blessed day. In the words of a dear friend, keep a song in your heart. Good night.